All right, more breaking news coming in. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a telephone conversation with President Donald Trump. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said that the call took place at the request of President Trump. The two leaders talked about various issues. Trump has extended his condolences to Prime Minister Modi over the Pahalgam terror attack, and Prime Minister Modi was expected to meet President Trump at the G7 summit in Canada. As you know, Trump left a day early in wake of the rising West Asia crisis. So this is the latest that we're getting right now, that the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a telephone conversation with Donald Trump. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said that this call took place at the request of President Trump. The two leaders were supposed to meet at the G7 summit. However, Donald Trump left the G7 summit a day prior to schedule. For more on this, we have with us Siddhant Sibal, Assistant Editor, Foreign Affairs, on the phone line with us. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. As I mentioned, the two leaders have held a phone call at the request of Donald Trump. What can you tell us, Siddhant?
Well, it's almost a 30-minute conversation coming at a day when we know that Donald Trump will be hosting Asif Munir, but the Indian side, of course, briefed how Pakistan continues to support terrorism in the region, and also essentially on the mediation issue, India made it clear, point blank, that there will be no mediation by any other country. There were conversation on the Iran situation as well, and Quad as well. When it's Quad, the Indian Prime Minister invited the U.S. President Trump, and the U.S. President has agreed to come to India very soon for the Quad Summit, whenever it is announced. But all in all, an important conversation which shows that how India and the U.S. remain on the same page on several issues and essentially remain in touch on issues, particularly over Pakistan's support to terrorism.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Well, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. We'll, of course, continue to get more developments on this, and we'll track this accordingly. Thank you so much, Siddhant. So this is the latest that we're getting right now, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a telephone conversation with US President Donald Trump. At the request of Trump, the two leaders talked about various issues. Trump also extended condolences to Prime Minister Modi over Pahalgam terror attack. They were expected to meet during the G7 summit in Canada. However, Trump had to leave a day prior to schedule because of the rising West Asia crisis.